Most people think happiness is something that just happens to them. It's not. And the second you realize that, everything changes. There's a study from Harvard, one of the longest studies ever done on human happiness, that ran for over 80 years. 80 years. And after tracking hundreds of people across their entire lives, they landed on one conclusion that most people completely ignore. Happiness isn't about money, fame, or even finding the perfect relationship. It comes down to small daily habits that most people never bother building. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 7 habits that the genuinely happiest people practice every single day, and none of them require money, a life coach, or a 5 a.m. wake-up call. Habit 1. They start the day without their phone. Here's something wild. The average person checks their phone within 3 minutes of waking up. 3 minutes. And what do they find? Emails, bad news, someone's highlight reel on Instagram, and maybe a notification they didn't ask for. Before their brain is even fully awake, they've already started comparing, stressing, and reacting. Happy people protect their mornings like it's the most valuable thing they own, because it is. Even just 15 to 30 minutes of phone-free time in the morning lowers cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone your body produces. Lower cortisol in the morning means a calmer, clearer head for the rest of the day. It sounds too simple to matter, but that's exactly why most people skip it. Habit 2. They move their body. Even just a little. You don't need a gym membership, you don't need a trainer. You just need to move. A study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry found that just 15 minutes of exercise a day can reduce the risk of depression by up to 26%. That's not a typo. 26%. When you move your body, it releases endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. Those are basically your brain's happiness chemicals. A short walk, some stretching, dancing in your kitchen, it all counts. The happiest people aren't necessarily gym addicts. They just make sure their body moves every single day, no excuses. Habit 3. They connect with someone. Really connect, not a text. Not a like on a photo, an actual conversation. That same Harvard study I mentioned earlier found that the quality of your relationships is the single biggest predictor of how happy and healthy you'll be later in life. Not wealth, relationships. And in a world where loneliness is now being called a public health crisis, the U.S. Surgeon General literally said loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The happiest people are the ones who invest time in real human connection every day. A phone call with a friend, lunch with a coworker, even a genuine conversation with a stranger. It adds up. Habit 4. They do one thing, just for themselves. Happy people are not selfish, but they do understand something really important. You can't give from an empty cup. Every day, even on the busiest days, they carve out a small pocket of time for something they genuinely enjoy. Reading a book, a hobby, cooking a meal they love, sitting in silence with a coffee. It doesn't need to be long. Research from the University of California found that regular small moments of personal joy, what scientists call micro-restorative experiences, dramatically improve mood, energy, and focus. Think of it like charging your phone. If you never plug it in, it dies. Same goes for you. Habit 5. They practice gratitude, but not the cheesy way. Forget the gratitude journals with golden covers and motivational quotes. I'm talking about something much simpler. Every night before bed, the happiest people take 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes, and think about 3 specific things that went okay that day. Not, I'm grateful for my family. Too broad. Something, like, that meeting went better than I expected, or that sandwich I made for lunch was actually really good. Specific, small, real. A study from UC Davis found that people who practiced specific daily gratitude reported 25% higher life satisfaction compared to those who didn't. Your brain is naturally wired to focus on problems. This habit rewires it to notice the good stuff too. Habit 6. They finish what they start. Even the small things, this one surprises people. Happiness has a huge amount to do with how you feel about yourself, and nothing chips away at your self-image more than a pile of unfinished things. Half-read books, unanswered messages, tasks you keep pushing to tomorrow. Happy people aren't superhuman, they just have a habit of following through on small commitments. And every time you finish something, even something tiny, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. It builds what psychologists call self-efficacy, the belief that you can do what you say you're going to do. Over time, this compounds. You start trusting yourself more. You feel more in control. And that feeling? That's a massive piece of what happiness actually is. Habit 7. They let things go. Faster than everyone else, the unhappiest people have one thing in common. They hold on to grudges, to regrets, to moments that have already passed and can never be changed. Happy people aren't immune to bad days. They get hurt, frustrated, and disappointed just like everyone else. But they've learned, sometimes the hard way, that holding on to pain is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to get sick. It doesn't work. Research from Stanford University's Forgiveness Project found that people who practiced letting go reported lower stress, better sleep, and stronger relationships. Letting go doesn't mean pretending something didn't happen. It just means choosing not to carry it with you into tomorrow. So there they are, the 7 small habits that the happiest people quietly practice every single day. No grand gestures, no overnight transformations, just small, consistent choices that stack up over time into something that actually changes your life. Start with 1. Pick the one that felt most real to you just now and try it tomorrow morning. That's it. That's where it starts. The next video popping up on your screen right now is going to change the way you think about your daily routine. Don't skip it.